So there's one scene in Breaking Bad that I remember watching, and it really stuck with me at the time. And it's a scene with the two main characters, which is like Walter White, who's this kind of chemistry teacher guy, who just makes drugs, becomes kind of drug lords. He's kind of the main character, and then there's his assistant, Jesse Pinkman. And Jesse is like, he's a bit hopeless. He's a bit kind of disorganized. He's always forgetting stuff. And there's one moment, one episode where Jesse like really stitches him and Walter White up. Like, he does something really stupid, and he gets them in a really bad situation. And Walter White just is like a real dick to him, basically, and he starts just being really rude to Jesse. And there's one thing that he says that really stuck with me, and he's like, "No one ever taught you how to think, did they? No one ever taught you how to think." And that line just really sticks with me, because to be honest, I know how Jesse feels. Like, I feel like no one taught me how to think. I think the way that I make decisions is so unorganized, so aimless. I feel like I'm constantly thinking, constantly reviewing things in my head, constantly trying to work things out, weigh things up against each other. And yet, when you look at my life, it's so random and so stumbling and so badly thought out. I'm constantly sort of switching direction in career, or where I'm living, or what my focus is on. And some of that is natural. You are naturally going to switch around things. It's just part of being a man. But I do think that there is a certain, like, if I knew how to think better, I would have such a pristine, clear way forward in my life that's really exciting. But the good news is, I do think I'm getting better at thinking things through. And I'm going to explain to you basically what I do to think things through, and how it's helped me to slowly get more focus in my life, and get more intention behind what I'm doing, and get close to really living out what I actually want from my life. And that is journaling. So basically, the way I see it is, you have lots of thoughts, and at the time, about what you should do in your life. I should go and do this. I should go and do that. I want to move to this place because then I can do this. But then what about this thing? All the time, right? And you think you remember that stuff. When you're walking around and you're thinking all these thoughts, you think you're going to remember it, but you don't. Imagine how many thoughts you have per day about what you should do with your life, and yet how much of it do you actually remember? And when you really think about it, you just forget it the moment you have it, and then you're thinking about something else and thinking about something else. So this is where journaling comes in. It's a way of just freezing what you're thinking and just seeing it for what it actually is. A lot of people criticize journaling because they sort of say something like, it just gets you more worked up about your thoughts. You're just encouraging your thoughts. But I say no. The key with journaling is it actually just shows you what your thoughts are actually like, and you just see them for what they really are in the light of day. And when they're in your head, they feel like these really well thought out, really clear ideas. But when you actually put your thoughts on paper, they're so disorganized, and they're so fleeting, and there's just so many of them, that I look at a page of notes that I've made of just things I've been thinking about, and it's like, no wonder I don't feel like I have a clear direction in my life. No wonder I'm so disorganized with my motivation and stuff like that. I've got so many thoughts that I just haven't got into order, and I don't even realize I'm having these thoughts. Often you find yourself thinking something, I should really do this one thing. I should really do this one thing. And then the next thing, you start thinking about something else that you should do that's completely different. And then you think I should just do that. I should just do that. Again, journaling's great. Journaling comes here and saves the day, because you can just go, you can just see both sides for what they are. You know, very often when we're thinking, we just see one side of the story. We're just weighing up one particular thing. But journaling allows us to actually do both of them. Like, you can just see them at the same time, and you can see the kind of gaps as well between what you're justifying in your brain to yourself, and what is actually true, what's actually feeling. You know, like you think, oh, I should do this specific thing. But then you ask yourself why, and you realise that there's a gap between the logic that you're giving to it, to what you want to do, and the actual feeling inside of you. There's something really weird going on there. And yeah, so that is basically the cure to disorganised thinking, is to just practice journaling every day. It's a very frustrating process a lot of the time, but you've got to persevere with it. You'll go through periods where it's going really well, go through periods where it's going really badly, but this is the antidote to disorganised thinking. You just begin to see your thoughts for what they really are, and you just start to slightly detach from them a little bit. So I hope that's helpful, guys. And if you click the top link in the description, I'm taking on some more clients for online coaching. So get involved, it'd be great to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next video.